All right, got more 7 inches for you. Death metal 7 inches. All right, ready? Head rocked. Oh yeah, Rhode Island's infamous, mainly because of Jim Fleet. Super, super, super heavy. I was lucky to see these guys a bunch of times. As far back as '92 at the Rhode Island Death Fest. Man, they were just, they were just as good um, live and heavy, heavy, heavy as they were on the 7 inch and demo. Yeah, I just remember them really, really got the things moving at that Death Fest when they came on. Then followed up by Incantation. Onward to Golgotha hadn't even come out. I think delivers the 7 inch. What's it? Deliveries of horrific prophecies. Probably shouldn't be recording this late. I'm going to be doing a bunch of fuck ups, but oh well. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how being up for a while does for me recording. Okay, the next one. Anyway, Headrod, loved them from the beginning. Never managed the full length, but who cares? Their legacy is sealed, right? Okay, let's go to Indianapolis. Now, this band, they used to play with Repulsion. I think they might have played a show with Repulsion and Impetigo. So I think they started out in 88, 89. By 90, Radiation Sickness had this 7 inch out, Bounds of Reality. Death Thrash. I definitely think it has some death metal qualities to it. Vocally, some of the riffs. You could even say maybe early grind, maybe death grind. But I like these guys. Lucky enough to have found that 7 inch recently. Never really had anything from them. Maybe some demo tapes, not original, dub from tape trading. So yeah, I just found that maybe like a year or two ago. I was like, oh shit, Radiation Sickness. Yeah, I definitely want that. Yeah, they don't get talked a lot about. But they were a staple. They were a staple back then. Speaking of staple, AC, again, walking a line, death, grindcore, blurcore, or whatever the hell the fuck you want. But this is a split with Meat Shits, who definitely had a lot more death metal influences to them. This is an early 7 inch. This Wild Rags, I don't know, but can't show censored for YouTube's pleasure on this one, but this is one of the first AC things I ever had. Again, I saw AC maybe 2 or 3 times. First time in Rhode Island, one of those death fest. And yeah, they lived up to their name. They were fucking crazy. I just remember, I think the guitar player, so this was 92. I remember his guitar, I don't know if his cord shit out on him or guitar itself, something to the effect. If Behera was here, they'd let us use a guitar, I don't know, guitar, whatever the fuck they were doing. Guitar was I don't know, what the fuck was it? strange. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious. But Seth was out of control, swinging the mic around, going nuts. But yeah, good memories. I also saw them at CBGB's Unplugged, at one of those desk stocks, I think. Yeah, that was fucking ridiculous. I remember Seth wearing a bouquet of flowers on his head and smashing people with flowers. It was fucking crazy. Wonder if Will from Mortician got him those flowers, because Will did deliver flowers. And maybe he still does. I don't know. But, yeah, you see, I might have saw him another time, too. Those are two times I mean, early. The first time was 92. So, that had to be as close as the original lineup. They had no CDs out. They weren't on Earache or anything like that. They're splits and shit like that. They probably had a fucking 8,000 splits already out. Alrighty, let's continue on to Greece. Let me Thurgothon. Let me Thurlog. God, I don't know. How the fuck do you say this? Vicious fucking Doom, though. This is fucking really cool from 92, 93, somewhere there. For what I remember. I mean, I remember thinking this was always cool. I don't know. Did it have some black metal to it? I can't remember. I can't pull this out. Man, I wish I could remember more about this. Wounded Love Records from Italy put this out. Wounded Love, didn't they? I thought the guy that owned that was in a Doom band. Yeah, Raz Agolfe. I don't know if I'm saying that. Lenothion. What is this? How the fuck do you say this? Oh my god! I should have never recorded. I'm fucking shot. Just seek it out. It's cool as hell. It's from the time period of good stuff. Seek it out. Seek it out. All right, let's stay in Greece. Sadistic Noise. This is fucking super obscure. I don't know how many people. I think this is on, Molten Lava. How many people know this? This is from 1990, or was it recorded in 90? I don't know. It's almost like black metal. Crush to Heaven, Final Summoning, Eternal Black. You get the idea. I don't know, but it's thrashy. I think they became more death metal later on. But, yeah, I remember buying this from Molten Lava with some other stuff. And I like it a lot now. Yeah, it's almost like a lost black metal, It's thrashy, though. So, yeah, there's some death metal elements to it, too. But guitar is super thin. I think it's more so supposed to be, black metal. Greece, wow, fucking Greece again. We got Desecration, which is atmospheric death metal. I think if you like Nightfall, stuff like that, this is definitely well played. Well played death metal, atmospheric, melodic. Has that Greek, sound that, maybe a little bit of Rotting Christ thrown in, but even the now it has a live drum, but I remember the drums sounding kind of like maybe electronic. But yeah, I don't know if they've put out a full length. They might have. Kind of clear green. almost vinyl. Dare I say blue raspberry? I don't know. Anybody? Slushies, ices. U.S. Definitely satanic band. Vital Remains. No, it's not Vital, but yeah, still got the original Vital shirt. Still fits good too. Love it. Probably had this since like '92. This was band from I think Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh. Their first demo was '88. I don't know if you want to necessarily call it death metal, but it definitely verged on, Death Black. Definitely verged on the cuffs of that. They definitely went later on. They got heavier. I actually ended up writing the band in '92. Got a promo. They were more death metal then. I don't know, maybe like Asheron, satanic death metal. Anyway, that band is Sathanis. And in '93, on Reaper Records from Belgium, the band's 1988 demo, Jaws of Satan, was a big hit back in the day. A lot of people are into that song. You may remember these guys were also Fathom, which I think had a 7-inch Seraphic Decay. Yeah, this is I remember having the demo through Tape Trade. Like I said, I wrote the band a couple years later in the early '90s. I think you'll dig this if you like early Asheron. The early, that late '80s, Walking the Line, Death Rash. This was definitely satanic. Asheron too. Black metal, I don't know. I mean, it's not what we would later consider, as the black metal bands in the early '90s through mid '90s start springing up and what they sounded like. But definitely recommended. These guys are still going. They're still putting out albums, I see. Let's go to Italy. How about Italy? More atmospheric death metal. Iconoclast. Well played. Technical, without losing any heaviness. This is on Drowned. Yeah, if you like Sinoth, this guy has a Sinoth shirt from Italy. I think you'll like this. What was the other band? Sadist from Italy. I think you'll dig these guys. I think I used to write these guys. I forgot. But yeah, this was from '92, '93. I always liked this. I like the artwork on the front. Really weird, mysterious. Yeah, obscure lyrics. Don't know. I don't think they put out a full length, but definitely check them out. Italy to me, Italy, especially in that time, early to mid '90s, had so much good stuff besides Mortuary Dreep, and Opera 9 was cool. That I think they've gotten lost in the shuffle. Though the full lengths never did it for me. Oh, here we go. Held on to the Iconoclast. There we go. Original ad from Drowned. Put that away. All right, one more here. And then after this, there will be one more round of 7-inch, and that completes For the most part, death metal, 7 inches. I mean, these were all from the early days. I just found another batch. Have a lot from, later on. More towards the late 90s, early 2000s, to show off. A lot of bootlegs, some official bootlegs. A lot of gore grind, death grind. But yeah, we'll get to that. But after I'll knock out the early 90s, mid 90s black metal stuff I have, and then we'll jump into some later stuff. Okay, last one. From the UK, and it's Doom. Cathedral. Twilight Songs. This one, I don't know how many people know. I'm sure a lot of people know of it. How many people actually own it? Because really, the only way you could get this was to send the wave for it. And I believe it was the Soul Sacrifice EP. It was a promotion run by Earache and Columbia, because don't forget, Columbia was picking up some Earache bands, Cathedral, was Morbid Angel, Columbia, I don't know who else. I don't know. I forget. But there was a thing. And so you get the Soul Sacrifice EP. And I think you just sent the UPC thing. I don't know if you cut it out. I guess tape or, And this was a free thing you got in the mail, just, because of the origins of Earache and Columbia, which is Ultimatum on here. I don't know. Maybe just because. Can you see that? Oh, didn't even know this was colored vinyl. It's like burgundy. Yeah, can you see that Ultimatum? It says. So, I don't know if that was Columbia in disguise. I don't know. But anyway, on here you got Reaching Happiness, Touching Pain, which is from Force of Equilibrium. And, love that album. Lucky enough to see him twice when that was out. Was it 92? Soul Sacrifice had come out too. Yeah, I saw him twice. I think I talked briefly about the Campaign for Musical Destruction tour, and they opened the show. They were fucking great. I had a great bootleg of them from Toad's Place, Connecticut, and lent it out to convert it into MP3s, and never saw it again. I wish I had that. Great sound on it. Anyway, so where were we? Reaching Happiness, Touching Pain. It's the Autumn mix, which I have to listen again. They stripped down the guitars to make it less heavy, which that's why you listen to Cathedral, So, I couldn't, refreshing my memory, I looked this up. I did a quick Google search, and I was like, okay. I'll have to listen to that. I don't know how much it was, it according to, Google, it did change it quite a bit. So we'll see. And then they recorded Black Sabbath's Solitude, which I remember was pretty good, pretty faithful. So there you have it. You could I don't know. I didn't look, but it's probably not that hard to get, Discogs, but God knows if it goes for a fortune. I'm not too sure. not interested in selling it, so I'm really not gonna bother looking it up. But there you go. Twilight Songs, Cathedral. If you didn't know, now you do. Maybe you could play it on. I'll look too. I'm gonna look on YouTube if it's playing. I'm sure it's playing somewhere. But if not, I'm throwing it on the turntable. Okay, last round coming up. With Death Metal 7 inches, the No Visible Scars little spotlight, episode 3, so to speak. Playing right now from Virginia. And these guys go back to 88. I think the first demo was 1988. And Les Snyder from Deceased played bass with this band. And King Folly also from, man, very early, maybe 90, 91, somewhere around there. Speaking of which, speaking of King and Deceased, this is released on his With Your Teeth Records, Abominade, with pretty sweet Chris Moyen artwork from 1990. Yeah, I dig that artwork. I like that. I haven't listened to this in a very, very long time. Mid-pace kind of death metal, death thrash maybe. Maybe a little hints of Deceased. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think they went on. You know, I always wondered if they got their name from the Uriah Heep record, the Abominade. They had to. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to their full length because the production on this is, you know, it's all right, you know. But yeah, this was. Does it say what release? Well, it was copy 242. I don't know how many of these were made, but there you go. Old Virginia death metal classic, if you will. Minor classic, maybe. But definitely a band that was there from the beginning. All right, we're going to go to Germany and Manos, which was the third release on Poser Slaughter Records. Poser Slaughter put out some good stuff, man. Master's Hammer 7-inch. Dead, which these guys sound a little bit like Dead. More death thrash, like Sepultura, Slayer influences. You know, I didn't know much about them. This came out in 91 too, or recorded in 91, so I probably got about 92. Guess they're a bunch of clowns that used to wear chicken heads on stage, according to Metal Archive. So maybe the forerunners of the chicken costumes and stupid shit that they do at the Extreme. What's that? Obscene Extreme Fest. I like a lot of those bands, and I like the label that does it. I forgot what's the name of the label. I forgot right now, but yeah, that cosplay death metal shit. It's nothing new. It's been going on for a while. But anyway, this is 4 songs. Blue Marble, or grayish blue marble. Nothing great. I don't know why I'm hanging on to it, really. So that might be on its way out. Let's see here. Oh, let's do this one from Illinois, because Illinois has killer bands. Syndrome, Sinai, stuff like that. This was a really good doom death band. Laceration. Ripping Avulsion, 7-inch, 92. I think I got this from the band. I think I used to write the band. I don't know, did they, some of these guys were Thorns of the Carrion? Maybe I'm mistaken. That might not be right. Don't, might be, I thought, for some reason, I thought it was Thorns of the Carrion, which I think just were a demo band around then. Pretty cool atmospheric doom. They were pretty cool too. Yeah, this was I always did like this. Gutted Records. So it's about it. I haven't listened to this in a while, but I know it was Death Doom, and I remember liking it. Pretty heavy. So Laceration. Let's go. Let's kind of keep with the doom death, maybe more symphonic. I think these guys are from the Netherlands. I want to think to say, yeah, they were. Okay, Phlebotomized. This is for Search of Tranquility, 7-inch. I think they might have another 7-inch clear red vinyl here. Thought they, I don't know. I know what's the Preach Eternal Gospels? Was that the full length or the demo? But I remember liking these guys. They're pretty heavy, killer vocals, really brutal vocals, heavy. Yeah, more in the atmospheric vein. I think they had a keyboard player. Phlebotomized. Man, a lot of these I got to revisit. Pop on the turntable. There you go. Malodorous Mangled Innards. That was the record label. I don't know who else was on there. If you know, put in the comments. Let's go with this one. Hold on, let me flip that Abomin up. Be right back. All right. Shit. Chicago again. These guys definitely were old school staple. And I guess you can almost say maybe Death Black, Thrash, Funeral Nation. I always like these guys. I pretty much like everything. This is from '94, Metal Merchant Records. I guess they're more infamous for being on Turbo Records. You know, Bear It, the Oath of Black Blood, Bear It, the first one, first release from them. Yeah, I guess the pictures are kind of faded out anyway. But yeah, killer stuff. I don't know, Black Thrash, you know, definitely with some, you know, death metal thrown in. They definitely were more of a, you know, thrashy black metal band then. Oh, that's right. Metal Merchant did the Symphony of Grief. Did they do that? Not too sure if they did. There's a newsletter for Metal Merchants. upside down. No, I guess Eternal Torment. I don't know if they did. Eternal Bleeding, Invocation of a special U.S. pressing of the CD. They did Asheron, Allah Azul, yeah, the demo. Meat Shit, Sexual Abuse, Eternal Torment, Symphony of Grief, which was cool. Great, death doom from Jersey with a drum machine. Okay, so yeah, Funeral Nation. I think if you go back into the scene, you're familiar with the band. They've had numerous reissues of their first album. Definitely recommend it if you don't have it. But yeah, blackened thrash, some death metal. I don't. If you don't want to call it, I don't know. It walks the line. There's definitely some death metal in it. Let's do. How about we go to Philadelphia? Classic one on Relapse. Agoraphobia. Yeah, man, I remember getting this. Yep. Still holds up. This is awesome. Just awesome death metal. They were gaining a lot of momentum right around this coming out. I saw them a couple times. Chris was always Chris Gamble here. Always loved the fact, even then. He had always leaning towards black metal. Maybe Agoraphobia doesn't sound black metal, but the aesthetics, the look. I guess it was mainly Chris, but definitely had black metal influences. I guess Celtic Frost. Matter of fact, a couple times they did killer Celtic Frost tracks when I saw them. But one other thing, I did say I saw them live, so at one of their shows. This is one of the white Agoraphobia shirts. This is an original one. Probably had that since about 92. Relapse was going to do their full length, right? And never materialized and never ended up, later on, I guess they. But it's too bad it didn't come out then. That would have been interesting. Would have been pretty monumental. How about we go to Mexico? This is a monumental death metal release here from Cenotaph. Baphomet Records. Yeah, this is just sick, heavy, brutal death metal early on. It's funny, I just found an old flyer with actually, is this it? This might be it here. Yeah, here we go. Oh, here it is, the original 7-inch ad. on Baphomet Records from what, LA, right? Yep. But I just had come across, and I posted on my Instagram, original flyer for this, for the full length. And it was Oscar, maybe it was Oscar's contact, the drummer. Forgot her. I forgot now. But yeah, had his phone number on it. Yeah, and everything. That was cool. That's pretty. I didn't realize I had put the original ad in the 7-inch here. I remember finding this back then, early 90s, at Trash Records. If anybody remembers that from you local Connecticut freaks, in Danbury, Connecticut. Malcolm plays now in Anti-Scene. He's the bass player. I think he does a YouTube channel too. Yeah, he does. I forgot the name. Malcolm, I don't know. You could look up Malcolm Tent. It'll probably pop up on YouTube. But it's a lot of punk stuff. May not meet all your criteria, but given Malcolm's age, and he's an old school like ECW aficionado, so I like him talking. I like him hearing about talk about the old days, and hell, I think he recorded Nirvana late '80s when Bleach came out at the Moon and the Moon in New Haven, Connecticut, a club way back then. I saw Prong and COC there, Corrosion and Conformity, very early 90s there. Yeah, I think that Nirvana video is pretty famous, or they might have played some, of course, Smells Like Teen Spirit wasn't out yet, but they might have played some songs from that. The video's floating around on YouTube, I believe. Okay, let's go to Europe again. These guys Dutch too. Let's say. I forgot, but Cryptic Caribous. I want to say they're Dutch, if I remember. Maybe not. No, Swedish. Jesus. Sorry. Yep, they're Swedish. And what gave it away is they think special thanks to the guys from House of Usher for helping out. So, okay, there you go. So, yeah, this is more atmospheric, keyboards. Matter of fact, let's put this on. All right. It really doesn't sound Swedish, which is, yeah, almost like Finnish, but great 7-inch. I know they had a full length. I remember kind of being like, I think it was kind of, all right. I don't know. All right. Let's see. How about probably one of my. I love the full lengths. Don't get me wrong with this band, but man, I just love this 7-inch. From Phoenix, Arizona, Nuclear Death, For Our Dead 7-inch, Wild Rags. This is the one with the poster. Poster I used to hang on my wall, so pretty sure did. It's somewhere tucked away. Yeah, just love this. Fucking unbelievable lyrics. You know, Lori's voice. Yeah, it's so fast, but verging on almost noise, but just you can make it out. It was just dark, so dark. You know, dark death grind. And a lot of interviews around this time popping up with Lori, and one in particular I remember was Terra Throne magazine, fanzine from Illinois, where she mentions drinking her menstrual blood. Fucking hell. Yeah, I was like, damn. But I used to write Steve from the band. Steve Cowan. See the drummer? I forgot. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I should have pulled out some letters, but yeah, I used to write Steve a lot. Never wrote Lori, but I remember Steve sent me this letter. They Xeroxed it, but they got a letter back. They were looking for a record deal, and Relapse told, "Fuck you guys, you suck, and you know you can't play." I still have it, but he Xeroxed it off, and I remember him sending it to me. Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah, one of my favorite death metal, death grind, whatever you want to call them, Nuclear Death. Lori's still going with some weirdo shit she does. I pretty much liked everything, even that Planet Keaxwell. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it was like an instrumental. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, almost soundtrack-ish. But yeah, I liked. Really, was always fascinated by Nuclear Death and Lori. Lyrics, love them. Just unparalleled, like, you know, in lyric, in dark, you know, bizarre, perverse lyrics. Love it. Let's go to. All right, we're down to the last two. So let's go to Jersey, New Jersey. And if you want, if you ask me, these are the guys that came up with the Dark Slam or the Slam before Pyrexia, before Internal Bleeding. Kind of think Demonacy, though, you know, they didn't label themselves anything like Slam, but I love the vocals of, I don't know who did the vocals. Does it say? I forgot what the vocal is. But, yeah, vocals were, I mean, super just catchy, heavy, heaviness with, you know, we used to call it breakdown part or slam part, you know, but, I don't know, man. They had, you know, they had that going for them. I think before everybody, but I think they started in 90. This is probably 91, 92, but Got to see him a couple times in New York. Look at the size of this fucking thanks list. Holy shit. Crazy. This is hilarious. What was this? Corpse Grinder Records from France. Some other, I got a couple other souvenirs of Demonacy. This is original flyer, merchandise flyer I got. I don't know if I was in. Love that cool artwork there. I can't remember if I was in touch with the band. I don't know. I might have, because what I'm going to show you is either I got it from them at a show or I wrote for it. I'm not too sure, but it is an original T-shirt. Give me a sec here. I got to put all this back. Got to have it the way it was. Hey, how do you think I kept a hold of all this shit all this time? I took care of it. Yeah, let's get to the T-shirt. So bang. There we go. One of the original T-shirts. Yeah, I don't know, even when pyrexia or terminal bleeding started suffocation, I didn't think of this dark, this slam band. I just thought maybe they had a little bit of groove to them. They had mosh parts. That's what we called it. Slam part. Even if you say slam, that's fine. But it just morphed into something more. Yeah, I rather not my thing. Okay, how about that? Not my thing. Okay, we will wrap up with a Norwegian band that, when they started, death metal, a little black metal in there, but definitely death metal. Kind of death metal meets Voivod early on. Then they abandoned kind of the metal, and I think became an even better band. And to me, they were like the Norwegian version of the Swans. And that band this is early on, Beyond Dawn. I especially love the 7-inch and that mini CD they did for Adiposure too. Really nothing in here to see, I guess. But yeah, if you never heard, this is great. Death metal with some doom, some black metal-esque vocals, very interesting parts. Like I said, atmospheric. I don't know if they introduced the trombone yet on the 7-inch. Definitely on the mini CD. I can't remember. Hold on one sec. just flip it over that cryptid. Carolus. That sounds definitely more Swedish to me now. Anyway, shortly after this, 7-inch, and then around, right, maybe a year or so before the first full length Beyond Dawn came out, I got in touch with, actually it was Enar, the drummer, got in touch with me for tape trading. I had sent a flyer out, and Enar right there. This is maybe around 94, 95 photo of them, but you get an idea of what they look like. This is really when they were, around Pity, Love, Reverie albums were out, coming out. But I got a letter. I had made up flyers mentioning, looking for tape traders. But I wasn't only, in addition to like death and black and, metal, I was interested in trading other genres. Goth, noise, industrial power electronics, soundtracks, across, a little bit of almost all genres, underground genres. Does that be like somewhere between 93 and 95? And, Einar got a hold of me, and here's I think this is the first letter he sent to me. Just saying, hey, I got your flyer, thought I'd send you my list. And he said he plays in Beyond Dawn, and also he's doing a zine, Dawn Rays. I should have pulled one of those out, but, anyway, he did like 2 or 3 issues of his zine Dawn Rays, which is really fucking great. This was just a copy, 1 page of, a mountain of a tape trade list, which each letter, each trade, I got more updates. I think stuff I circled was the stuff I wanted from him. I don't know if you could see that. Let's see. Might be able to. Yeah, probably. Anyway, let's see. Got so much from Enar. But here was an example of this was like the example of his tape trade list. I can't believe I have it. It's started with in 94, went to about 96. So yeah, a good couple, good 3 years. We were writing every couple months to each other. And again, I loved Einar's taste. Einar. Because he would have, like Absu, Ancient Rites, but then have like Lycia and Slaughter Natives, Devil Doll, real Dead Can Dance, that's the stuff I was so happy to be trading, just all kinds of underground obscure music, which, I guess not too. Then they were all, a lot of that stuff was mysterious and new, to me, to Einar too. But let's see. yeah, I got lots of handwritten letters. Yeah, and you would talk about what was new with Beyond Dawn, the record deals. When of course he taped me, and later on he would tape. There'd be some typewriting written stuff or word processor. I think we all ended up getting. Sooner or later, most of us. I even had one. He would send me. Here we go and this is actually his writing on these tapes. That's awesome. Beyond Dawn promo and rehearsal from '94, which I listened to, and it's fucking awesome, really cool. And then, just for the hell of it, I'll show this off. It's a Sataragon CD, '94, so it would have been the debut, right? What else we got here? A couple more tapes. Yeah, a lot of this was, this is advanced mixes. According to the letter here, you can see he wrote. These were advanced mixes of in Revelry or Reverie. Great see. That's when really, to me, they kind of had that Swans style sound to them. So that, here we go. This was the tape. Again, I listened to it. You can't really tell much difference. Of course, it wasn't anything really drastic. The Thorn in the Eyes of the Chosen, the promo definitely had different versions of songs that would show up later. And the other one, this was awesome. Got a live Beyond Dawn tape he sent me from '95, and it sounds fucking great. And I'm pretty sure it was from this show here, Beyond Dawn, from '95. It says '95 on the tape. That looks like my writing, but I don't know how many people would have heard would have that. I don't know how many people he taped it for. I think that's from Norway. Let's see, what else can I share? Went on to do some other bands. Inferno. This was a mock-up of the ad it sent me. And then original J-Card. There was a Downtown Hades that came out on Osmos, the full length. I wasn't a big fan of this. I'm truthfully told, I didn't really like any of the death, black thrash stuff, except Aura Noir, but that was about it. They're the only ones I really appreciated that style. Most of the other stuff came across as just so much, destruction and creator worship. No, I mean, of course I love those bands, but I already have them, Let's see, a couple more things. Original bio from Misanthropy Records. I did have a picture of Enar he sent me personally. I don't know what happened to it. Because when I was doing my zine, Children of Cain, he sent it to me and sent me this cool letterhead. And here was the interview questions. I wonder if that was his phone number up there. So I typed this out on a word processor. Actually, here. Oh, look at this. Oh no, this is diabolical netherworld. Here was Einer's letters. You know, Einer went on to drum for Ved Wen's, not the original line. You know, Virus. This is a really fucking killer interview. Anybody watching that's a book publisher, get a hold of me. I have tons of shit. I have a whole unreleased magazine itching to come out with interviews like this, and more letters, for all kinds of just stuff from my collection that probably nobody else has. Track me down. Hit me up. I'm definitely interested in putting out a book on my terms. But if not, it'll eventually come out through myself or somebody else that's definitely interested in doing it. Might go that avenue with a friend. All right, I think that's about it. This is a long one. Thanks for sticking in there. Hopefully, I mean, if you're an old school guy, I don't know if any of these bands, are new to you, but maybe. And if they aren't, hopefully the merchant, the original flyers, letters, hopefully that was something a lot of us did get rid of, don't own anymore. So it's probably cool for you to see that. And if you're, you weren't around then, or just getting into death metal, or maybe missed the golden years. Maybe a lot of these bands were new to you, but if anybody has favorites, put them down there. Let me know how you got them, when, do you still own the stuff? You buy them? I mean, how much, I can't imagine some of the prices on some of these. They probably start at fucking, some of them $50, right? And go up. It's been a while since I sold anything. As far as, stuff that I like. But, okay, yeah, there you go. We'll do a black metal one next. Got a lot of black metal 7 inches as well. Okay, until then, see ya.